Today, I'm going to tell you a story. A story about how Prince Harry and Meghan put their best foot forward for Africa. Now, members of the squad. Nick Dreyer, the man who turned all farmers' shoes into a youth brand inspired by a prince, convinced a billionaire and styled his way to the Olympics with some fancy footwork. Now, entrepreneurs are said to be a rare breed. Unique, passionate, and loaded with an endless reserve of energy. When logging on to the Zoom call to interview the world-renowned Nick Dreyer, the bar was set high, but he cleared it. The optimistic nature of Dreyer flows through the brand he and his co-founders have created. One is easily lost in conversation with the array of stories from the larger-than-life founder of Velskoen. It is a South African shoe with a heritage stretching back 400 years. Now the business rebranded cleverly the kind of dusty shoes that all farmers used to tramp their fields in South Africa into a cool street shoe, not out of place on the streets of Manhattan and fit for a prince. Now, taking inspiration from his South African heritage, Dreyer's passion is infectious. One must not allow his outgoing nature to hide the image of the competitive businessman with an eye for opportunity. Now, one opportunity shone like a beacon and benefited from a glimmer of chance. What happened was that Dreyer and his company made a monogrammed shoes for Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And to his delight, the couple wore the shoes. Surely, to even greater delight in the Dreyer camp, the couple were photographed wearing them by the Times of London, who put on their front page. And sales rocketed faster than you could say Windsor Castle. Members of the squad, a story of a man impacted by Prince Harry and Meghan. A brand promoted by the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan wore their shoes. Monogrammed shoes for Prince Harry and Meghan, and they wore it. Harry and Meghan wore it, and they sold out completely. Members of the squad, I tell you this story today because I want you to show you the blessings that Prince Harry and Meghan have been blessed. These are blessings from God. Everything that Prince Harry and Meghan touch, it turns to gold. And that's why wherever they go, every single company, organization, they all want to work with Prince Harry and Meghan. Now, as I continue, on the investment front, the billionaire Mark Cuban, together with Hollywood star Ashton Kutcher, are shareholders in the American operations. Dreyer has successfully created an e-commerce business that spans 28 countries and has achieved more than 100,000 sales each year, all around leather shoes made in a Durban factory in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, members of the squad, Mark Cuban said this about Prince Harry and Meghan, that if they were ever to walk in and ask for anything, he'd say, done deal. Harry and Meghan are $1 billion brand, and he sees them both becoming billionaires eventually. And members of the squad, I see that too. And those are blessings from God. Those are blessings from God. Whatever Harry and Meghan do, they all turn to gold. Whatever they touch, anything, it turns to gold. And any single, whether it's a fashion house, designers, they all want to work with Prince Harry and Meghan because whatever they wear, it sells out completely. Allow me to continue with Dreyer's story. Now, Dreyer says this. So Dreyer, the road to this level of success is rarely traveled and is filled with obstacles many of us may struggle to comprehend. The 39-year-old former hotel manager's journey to her success began on the N1 Foward, Cape Town, having a conversation at the wheel with his soon-to-be co-founder, who was a builder. They were talking about the 2016 Summer Olympics. The South African team should have won Velskens, he exclaims in disappointment. His co-founder agreed and yet ventured that old-schooled Velskens were more dusty fields than fashion. They cast their minds on an eye-catching shoe they saw in New York City, which boasted a bright-colored sole. He asked a former colleague to Photoshop a Velsoken. It was in that moment we knew it was something big. Dreyer shares with passion and excitement, recalling the early days. The passion in his voice and the glint in his eyes shine through the computer screen as he tells the story of his first sale. He says this: "We made our first sale before we made our first shoe." This was his moment of controlling cash flow. The goal to start a small one sale a day. He had never created an e-commerce platform, neither had his co-founders. It took months of studying and understanding the industry, yet at the end of the day, it was impossible to know everything. To sell our shoes, we created a hype. We shared a risky advert saying the legend is back. The tagline created a bubble of attention as thousands believed Velsoken was an old business reinventing itself, when in fact it was Dreyer and his co-founders at home starting off. To the outside world, it has seemed like a continuous success story, never putting a foot wrong, yet his journey was not easy. Dreyer needed a thick skin as well as strong shoes. We made mistakes and we try to embrace them. With our open culture, there can be big fights. Becoming the first external shoe provider to Woolworths, one of the biggest clothing retail chains in South Africa, indicates they learn from mistakes. A major mishap came in the early days through, though poor customer service, a daily scene in retail. In the first year, he and his co-founder personally fulfilled the logistics of sales by writing out waybills at the local postnet. Several pairs of Velsoken unfortunately never reached their destination. It was in these days we learned to simply apologize and return the money. Understanding the importance of a brand, Dreyer always wanted to make Velsoken as human as possible to attain a unique connection with customers. Mixing this with risky marketing, Velsoken was able to grow into a household name. The goal is not for my name, Nick Dreyer, to be remembered in 100 years. But if Velsoken is still around, I would be proud. Our goal is for Velsoken to be the most recognizable South African brand in the world. The long-term business view allows Dreyer a certain element of freedom in decision making, as his short-term decisions simply need to align with the long-term goal. We know we do not know how to reach our goal of becoming the most recognizable brand. There is no handbook. If there was, everyone would do it. International growth is one method of attaining this goal. Before COVID, only 10% of sales were international. Now 40% of total sales are international. The biggest markets are the USA, Germany, and Australia. Naturally, a worldwide pandemic threw a spanner in the works. Sales halved. The business felt the pressure. We went remote as early as possible before the government came out. Moving online meant a change in management style to ensure his team worked with him. One of our major advantages is all our products are locally produced. We do not need to worry about losing production because of shipment problems or pages worth of regulation. The stress of the weakening currency naturally assisted us. We sold internationally. Continuous work at home with the kids running around in the background was vital to ensure as the world opened up, they will capitalize on the spending spree soon to come caused by pent-up demand. So much so that pre-COVID Velsoken operated in 4 countries. Now it is 28 countries. No matter how appealing the international stage becomes, Dreyer is Leka man. It is Leka, which means great to be in South Africa. We have our problems, but there are still worse places. Anything is still possible here, both from an individual perspective and business perspective. By using local suppliers, Dreyer has ensured low costs while using international regulation, favorably to ensure cheap exports. His proud moments as CEO came when Velsoken was announced the official off-field shoe for the South African athletes traveling Japan for the 2020 Olympics and Paralympics. It completed the circle from his first thought about the shoe in the car on the highway. The story is wonderful. We posted a video of me speaking into a smartphone camera asking South Africa to help. The next day, the CEO of Sasco called me on my cell phone and mentioned he heard we were looking for him. This story perfectly encompasses the go-getter attitude of Dreyer, never deterred by a challenge, only seeking to rise above adversity. A well-socken shoe is designed to be three things: simply beautiful, comfortable, and strong. The journey of well-socken is very similar: simply beautiful yet powerful. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We are comfortable and hardworking, like the well-socken shoes. As the journey continues, there may be ups and downs. Yet the one guarantee is the arbiter of well-socken will strive for victory and may very well attain it. Yet the question still needs to be answered: how did Dreyer trademark a 400-year-old word? No one trademarked it, so we did, keeping it as simply as possible. However, we did not expect other businesses to stop making Velsocken. We want the Velsocken pie to grow bigger, but they must not copy us, of course. A business summed up in 6 words. Now, members of the squad, as you've heard the story of Dreyer, thanks to Prince Harry and Meghan wearing their shoe, their sales skyrocketed 100%. Skyrocketed. Thanks to the strength and power of Prince Harry, the influence that both Prince Harry and Meghan possess. And Harry and Meghan are blessed. They are blessed. And by their own action, by what they do, they're promoting others, building other brands, like Nick Dreyer's Velsocken brand of shoes, which Harry wore. And members of the squad, there was an article about how Prince Harry and Meghan put their best foot forward for Africa. And indeed, he promoted Nick Dreyer so much. Their sales skyrocketed immediately when Harry wore their shoes. When Harry and Meghan wore their monogrammed shoes that they made, inspired for Harry and Meghan. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for daily and consistent content. Keywords daily and consistent. And stay tuned to our next video. Love you, family, so much. May God bless each and every single one of you. Hello, members of Zesco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Zesco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.